Well, I gotta tell you, today was one of the most memorable days I think that I've had in my speaking career, and probably the cutest as well. A lot of you know that I'm a professional speaker, and this year alone, I have probably done well over 30 speaking engagements when it comes to family caregiving. And today, I had the opportunity to do something I've never done before. And that was to be able to go and speak to a class of kids in elementary school, 8 and 9-year-olds, about family caregiving and going to visit people in senior living communities. And I gotta tell you, that was probably the cutest experience I've ever had. And there were probably the most interesting questions I've ever had. And I asked the question too, is there anybody here who is helping care for someone at home, like a grandparent or a brother or a sister or a mom or a dad? Or do their parents care for someone? And probably about a fourth of those children said yes and shared their story. And many of you know, some of you don't know, that there are 5.4 million children under the age of 18 that care for loved ones in the United States. And I just want to say to that teacher, Mrs. Hopkins, kudos to you for knowing it's important to help those children feel seen, to educate those children on a real life thing that happens, and that's family caregiving. And I also want to thank her because one of the things they're going to be doing is going to senior living locations and doing show and tell for some of the seniors. And after my presentation, I got to stay and see some of the presentations of these children. And I got to see some budding future public speakers. And one of my favorites was a little girl named Tasha, who shared not just one of her stuffed animals, but the queen of her stuffed animals, Tasha, who does magic. I was on the edge of my seat. She was very engaging with the crowd, and I was very delighted to be a part of that. What I want to say is, first of all, thank you to Mrs. Hopkins again. And I want to say that this is one of the reasons why giving back to the community and being a part of your community is important. My speaking engagements are paid speaking engagements, and I get paid very well to speak. Today, I got paid in hugs and smiles. And I feel richer today than I have walking away from any speaking engagement. So thank you, Mrs. Hopkins and her class of 8 and 9-year-olds.